All right, welcome to Keeping It Real, the largest podcast made by real estate agents and for real estate agents. My name is DJ Paris. I am your guide and host through the show. And today we have our monthly series yet again called Social Boot Camp with Gogo Bethke. Let me tell you a little bit about Gogo if you're new to our show. Gogo Bethke came to the United States in 2003 to build her American dream. She was broke. She had no sphere of influence, no experience, barely spoke English, and only $6 to her name. So that left her with nothing else but Facebook to help build her business, which is where she started. She created Gogo's Real Estate, and her real estate career began. Now, with the power of social media, Gogo has sold over 45 million in residential real estate transactions. She shares the good, the bad, and the ugly side of real estate, and her honest snippets into her everyday life got her tens of thousands of social media followers. And in the real estate community, she has earned the nickname the social media queen. Now, after being asked to present at various conferences and events with realtors, she built her own social media boot camp for realtors called Gogo's Boot Camp. Today, she has a team of almost 200 agents growing nationwide. Her goal is to help as many agents as possible make a name for themselves in real estate utilizing social media. Now, if she can do it, this girl from Transylvania, Romania, with no formal U.S. education, no sphere of influence, no money, no experience, and an accent, then anyone else can do that as well. Please follow Gogo on Instagram at Gogo's Real Estate, so Gogos Real Estate. Also, we highly, highly recommend signing up for her program called Gogo's Boot Camp. For our listeners, we have a special website set up with a discount. You can visit at gogopodcast.com, Gogo podcast.com, and please sign up for it. It's an amazing system. I couldn't recommend it more highly. We never recommend anything on this show. This is the one thing we recommend. Please, everyone, go buy it. It's amazing, and it'll help you build your business. Welcome again, Gogo. Thanks for being on the show again.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure every time.
It is fun. And this is such a great series because social media is so important right now, especially even though now realtors are starting to get more into being outside and maybe even some are meeting with clients face to face. However, for the last 3 or 4 months, social media has played such a significant role in how we get news, just staying in touch, and the activity in social media has just exploded, probably due to the pandemic. So I'm so grateful we're continuing to talk about even as things start to slowly return to normal, the importance of social media.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, through the pandemic, people were home doing this all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And your goal is to be an option. You might not be the choice, but you at least want to be an option. So by them seeing you constantly on social media, it's like a reoccurring event in the brain. They might not read what you're posting. They might not even watch the video that you posted, but it registered in their brain is, oh, it's that Gogo chick again. Oh, she's a realtor. Oh, she just posted again. Oh, there's her house. Oh, she's working. She sold another house. It's the Gogo chick again. I just want them in their brain, in the back of their mind, to know my name and know what I do. So when they're ready and they need a realtor, they know where to find me. And that's your goal. So on social media, you look at your profile as your storefront and you want to make them pretty. You're selling something, and there's a lot of stores down on the same street that they're selling pretty much the same thing. So a lot of other realtors. So you pretty much want to make sure that yours is so pretty. It's so attractive that there's a reason for them to come in and buy something that you have for sale. And you're not selling houses. I know many realtors, I just blew your mind. You're not selling real estate. You're selling yourself and your services. Because there's almost 2 more million realtors out there. Why on earth should someone choose you? And that's what you achieve on social media.
This is branding, and this is so important that if everyone can understand, think of yourself as a brand. So I'll tell a quick story. When I was a financial advisor a lifetime ago, and one of the most successful financial advisors in my office, he had been doing it 30 years. We were doing a presentation together for a bunch of prospective clients, and I said, "Okay, when in the presentation do we ask for the sale?" He goes, "You never ask for the sale." He goes, "If you have to ask for the sale, you're doing it wrong." and he said, this is about branding. And so what Gogo, what you were just talking about is so important is it used to be really difficult to do branding because you didn't have social media. You had to go through traditional other media outlets and pay newspapers or radio ads or television ads, which you obviously can still do, or buy benchbacks or get billboards. You can still do all of those things, but a lot cheaper and easier. And there's so many great technology tools to be able to assist you in branding on social media. But really think of it as, because sometimes people ask, well, how do I get clients on social media? I'm like, don't think of it so much as how to get clients. Think about, what is your brand promoting? What are you showcasing on your social media profiles? And that's what you teach.
Yes. And what are you trying to achieve with that post? Because I tell our students all the time, it's not about posting to post. What are you trying to achieve with that post? Are you trying to attract an agent to your brokerage? Are you trying to sell a listing that you just put on the market? Are you trying to help another person who's not licensed yet to even consider the idea of becoming a realtor? Are you trying to get leads to find buyers in the market? Is this an open house promotion that you're doing? Are you doing an event with local people that you just want awareness of your brand and you're doing maybe a client appreciation? Like, there's so many different reasons, but whatever that post is about, you have to have an end goal. I'm not just posting a pretty picture. I'm posting this to try to get something. And there's a point to, and I usually start with a story. With every picture that I post, there's usually a story and then something that I ask them to do or respond or share or tag or something at the very end. There's usually something that I'm trying to achieve. So talking about...
Yeah, and we're talking about engagement. So it's like we have to think about, okay, what our strategy has to be, who is our audience? What do they want? What can I provide them with social media that meets their needs, but also keeps them engaged with the brand? So it's not just, let me post a beautiful picture of my dinner last night, which is okay if that's what you want to do, but then you really need to be thoughtful and say, okay, what's my intention? I'm using that as a non-real estate example, but what's my intention? If I'm just having fun, I want to show everyone what I made for dinner, great. Or do I really want to engage my audience? Maybe then you could follow up by saying, hey, here's the recipe I used. Does anyone else have a recipe that they want to share? That could be an example of trying to encourage engagement in a non-real estate way.
Or if you're in a restaurant, you're doing that to support that local restaurant.
Yeah.
Then you should be in it. So it's not just the dinner, but it should be you with the dinner in front of you and say, oh, guys, this is my favorite place to go. It's the Wooden Spoon downtown Brighton, and this is my favorite dish. And I come at least once a week to get it. So when you are here next time, make sure to get the blah, blah, blah. So right now, what did I achieve with that? They see that I'm a normal person. I eat carbs. I'm just kidding. No, that's not the goal, but that's one of the goals. I want them to know that I eat my pasta. No, but what I want with that is then support that local business, because then in return, when I go back to the Wooden Spoon and say, hey guys, I want to target Pine Creek with monthly market, blah, 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 via postcard. Okay. Can you give me something? Is there something that your restaurant can give, maybe free appetizer, maybe drinks for two, maybe this or that, where on the back of the postcard, now I can put a Wooden Spoon coupon, which didn't cost me anything. But because I'm helping promote Wooden Spoon with the same post, now they also have a reason, because it generates them business.
Yeah.
So now they're going to think, yeah, I can give a 20% off on a dinner for two. Make sure
now is such a great time to support local restaurants. Of course, we all know nationwide restaurants are struggling, and even the most successful restaurants are still, it's a difficult time. So if you're eating in store and you're going to take a picture, and make sure to obviously tag the restaurant. I personally, what I would do is with Instagram, of course, you can do multiple photos in a single post. So what a great opportunity to, showcase the dish you want to see, have everyone know about, but then also go take a picture with the staff or maybe the owner or the chef and say, hey, is it okay if I take a picture with you guys and send it out? I'm a realtor. I work with people in this area who, might want to come eat here. And I really want to just make sure everyone knows you're open. They will be so honored and thrilled. And then you could say, hey, by the way, I want to start doing this regularly. Maybe I want to do a mailer. Gogo, as you said, can we offer something to my followers? Any sort of special discount.
Or you might send out a monthly email and you feature a local restaurant or you feature a local business. So this could be your crowd that you're sending out to and say, hey, I have about 250 local people that always read my email, my automated emails, and I send out monthly. can I feature you guys this month? Is there something that you can give to my followers? And then they say, yeah, I'll give 20% off. So now not only that you've promoted a local business, and they might have even heard about the like this restaurant, and I love going to locally, it's called the Wooden Spoon. They are farm to fork style, and they grow most of their stuff in the basement in the wintertime, right there. So it's fresh herbs, it's fresh green. So things like that, they might not even know. Most people just probably drive right by in front of it, not knowing how good the restaurant is. So now you become, and you know how many times I got leads from a restaurant? By the way, can I give you another tip since we're talking about restaurants? Only do this if you're a good tipper. If you're a sucker tipper, don't do this. It's not going to work. But if you're a good tipper, I always, leave my very nice tip, and then I slip in my business card and I put on there, if you ever need a realtor, I would love to be a realtor.
Ah, I love it.
And if you give a nice tip, they will keep your card. If you give a tip, it's going to go straight in the trash. So don't waste your business card if you're not a good tipper. But I got a lot of business out of that just by, being a good tipper, and always, always, always leave your business card in the restaurant.
And another thing too, if you're in the restaurant and you're taking a picture with the chef or the owner and wanting to feature them and say, guys, this is such a great place, please support the restaurant. You can also turn your video on and do a quick little interview. Say, is it okay if we do a quick, Instagram live or Facebook live or just record on video and upload it later? But can you just explain why people should come to your restaurant? What do you guys do that's special? In your case, explaining what the Wooden Spoon does. That is often at times so better said by the owners or the people passionate about to start that business. So, your phone is a camera, it's a video, go use it. And then say, is it okay if I promote this on social media? They will absolutely say yes. And here you go, you're helping them. And hopefully, you'll be driving traffic to their business, but hopefully they're going to want to share that post as well. Ask them, hey, I'm going to tag you. Do you mind sharing this as well with your followers? And there you go. And hopefully you get some business.
And the more of these you do, the more you become that local expert. And then of course, after you post it, you're going to ask them, hey, would you please share it? And then they're like, oh my gosh, we just got featured on Gogo's Real Estate, guys. Look at, check us out. And then now all of their followers get to see your post as well. So now you gain followers as well, even though that wasn't your intention with it. You were truly just trying to help a local restaurant, but it's keep growing for everybody. That's how we can give back.
Perfect. Let's talk about photography, or just the social media has really transformed from being a written media where Twitter and Facebook really became more popular just by reading posts, and they weren't as popular around the photography and the images, although it was always a part. Then Instagram came and changed everything, right? And now we know that Instagram is really the number one place people are spending time. This is obviously one of your specialties, but what I think it's done, and I want to get your opinion, is it's really changed our entire behavior patterns as a society. We now, instead of reading, we're looking and evaluating a visual image. We now have apps that can, change the dynamics of a photo to make it more attractive, less attractive, brighter, darker. It used to be only, graphic designers had the ability to do that. Now we all have that ability. How important is that when it comes to listings and the photography that we're showcasing for those listings?
I mean, it's just like cold calling. When somebody's cold calling, you can tell in someone's voice if they're happy. You can tell if they're nervous. You can tell if they're mad. You can tell if they're annoyed. So same thing, when somebody's really good at cold calling, they are really good at changing their personality and always sounding cheery and always sounding like they know what they have it together. So same with social media. If you don't post to post, you're not just going to take a shitty photo, excuse my French, and just post it up there just because you have to get a post done by noon today. Right. You might as well don't even do it, because you're going to do more damage than good. If you're not, when I decided to do social media, I take it seriously. It's my job. I make sure that I have a very nice photo every single day to post. I make sure that I have a quote. At least every sixth thing that I post is a quote. I make sure that it's edited. I make sure that my blah, 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 make sure I tag, I make sure I hashtag. So it is absolutely very important to edit those photos. And I joke around, but this is the truth. I take at least 46 photos until one is really good. My children are trained. I used to pay, now they are 11 and 13, but they were like 4 and 6 at a time when I, 2 and 4 at a time when I started. And as they were growing up, I used to pay them $1 for every photo. But then when they took 46, I owed them $46, and none of them was post. So I was like, no. From now on, it's $1 for the photo that I actually post. So then they have to put a little effort into it, make sure my head is not cut out and all this stuff. And then I put it through a lot of apps. So I literally just had a message waking up this morning, somebody asking me, do you have a photographer walking around with you? Nope. All the photos are taken with my phone. I have the iPhone 10.
Yeah.
227. And what happens is literally whoever I'm with, or if I'm in a random restaurant by myself sitting at the coffee table, I ask the stranger sitting right next door, I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I built a brand on social media and I have to maintain it. So I need a photo, me sitting here working away. I'm not even gonna look at the camera. I'm seriously gonna act like I'm working. Would you please just shoot a couple photos from all sections? I'll get your coffee. Your coffee's on me. And they were like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do it for free. No worries. I mean, so I usually offer something in return. I just met with an agent a couple weeks ago. There was a guy walking into a restaurant as we were walking out. We didn't have a photo together. I asked this random dude I've never seen before, I'm so sorry, but would you take a couple photos of us? And by a couple, I mean like 46. And he was like, yeah. I get it. I have a wife. I'm like, okay, good. And he literally just stood there and we smiled and we paused and and then he took the photos. So then you put it through a lot of apps. Then you're going to go and find which one is the one that truly representing you and your best side. Meaning, I don't want a crappy photo. I don't want you picking your nose, one eye closed. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to find that one that it looks like you. It's going to put a smile on someone's face. It goes along with the message that you're trying to portray for that day. Because all of my posts go along with something, or it's a mindset, or it's a goal, or it's something that is real estate or entrepreneurship related. So the photo kind of need to match the message that you're trying to achieve that day. Then you're going to put it through a few apps. So for iPhone users and Android users, my two favorite apps, if the photo is close up, so you want to edit your face, like just make it, you know, if you have eye bags and things like that, which many people do, you know, you want your best version out there, even if it's not reality necessarily, but in order for people to take a look at it and to capture their attention, or you know, capture their attention, I think is what I need to say. You want to make sure that that photo is the best version of yourself. So for that, the close-up photos where you're editing faces, it's perfect 365. You might want to try it on. I use it up forever. Now, I'll be honest with you though, I read an article about them that they track your location and you really can't turn it off. So if that bothers you, then don't use it.
Right.
I mean, but I try to just close all of the apps every time I use them if I have the time. So Perfect 365, the one that I use all the time to put filters on my photos, because if you go to my profile at Gogo's Real Estate, you'll see that most of my photos are very orange. So right now I go through an orangey phase. Sometimes I go to a pink phase. Sometimes I go to a light, almost like a black and white phase. It's just depending on what phase I'm going through. So you want to make your storefront that brand, that yes, it looks the same. Can't think of the word. So for that, I use, what is it called? Darkroom.
So the two apps we're talking about are Perfect 365, which and Darkroom.
Yes. So if you can see that here, this is Perfect 365, and this is Darkroom right here. This is Darkroom.
Great.
Yep. So those are the two. If you have a Droid, I think Darkroom is called Lightroom, but it's the same app.
Oh, good to know.
I think Darkroom you actually have to pay for. I don't think it's 100% free, but it's worth every penny to me because this is my job.
Yeah, I mean, remember everyone, this is your advertising, this is your branding. And even if you're not necessarily saying, hey, I'm a realtor, if you need to help buy or sell or rent something, you know, whatever messaging you're putting out there, you need it to look a certain way. It doesn't have to look perfect. It just has to look a certain way. And that certain way has to reflect your personality, your brand, and it has to have good content associated with it to get people to want to continue to follow your social media.
As you can see, I post 5 photos and a quote always. You see that? There's a quote, then 5 photos, there's a quote, then 5 photos. See that? Right now, when you're looking through them, it's a little bit orangey. So I'm going
to that
orangey phase. And then when I decide to change it, then I use the same filter for the next who knows how many pictures until I get through that phase and I pick something else.
And by the way, we should mention, because we're getting close to the end here, we should mention this is exactly what you teach at Gogo's Bootcamp. Can we just, I feel like we've never really talked that much about it. Can you just tell the listeners, because I couldn't be a bigger fan of this, tell them what this is, why they should sign up.
So this is like what we are talking about here is probably less than 1% of Gogo's Bootcamp. So it is over probably 200 hours worth of video training on social media. So anything from the basics. So this is basics, apps and use and why we do things a certain way. So you understand why you're doing it, because that's the most important part. Because anybody can post a photo, but it's going to take you nowhere if you don't have a plan or you don't understand why we're doing this. What's the end goal? So the series, so Gogo's Bootcamp is a few different series. So Original bootcamp was 3 series: series 1, series 2, series 3. Series 1 was the basics of social media. Again, what apps I use, what systems I use, how to implement everything, how to link your accounts, why we're doing things, all that stuff. Series 2 was how to work in your business. So buy site strategies, listing site strategies, what to do at open houses, and just kind of anything real estate transactions related, like how to run a CMA, that kind of stuff. Series 3 was how to work on your business, meaning eventually you want to be able to have a business where you can remove yourself from it and it runs without you and makes you money, ideally passively. But for a long time, it's going to take a long time before you can fully remove yourself from transactions and have a brand that runs without you. But that talks about when to hire an assistant, how to hire an assistant, what are disc assessments, like having all of the facets of a real estate business, like CPAs, financial advisors, all those things that requires for you to run a successful business, because you can make a lot of money. If you don't know what to do with it, it's going to go poof. So for that, you're going to need a CPA, you're going to need a financial advisor, you're going to need legal coverage, all of those things. So that was the first series. Then Instagram and Facebook decided to change their algorithm about every 5 minutes. So then we have to come out with new content all the time. So then we came out with Gogo's Bootcamp 2.0 that pretty much just covers everything that's new with the algorithm and added on to the original series. Then we came out with Finesse. Now everything I do and teach personally, I teach you how to do it organically, meaning how to build your own brand and lead generate. I never bought a lead in my entire career. And by the way, I sold 60 million now, not 45.
I need to update.
We need a little bit of update there. And so pretty much my goal is to teach everyone how to, I call it fishing, because anybody can hand you a fish. But if you are standing there and holding your hand out waiting, you always rely on that second party. And you don't want to have to always rely on the Zillows and the Trulias and your broker and all that, because yeah, they might hand you a fish, but guess what? You're going to give them back 50% of your commission.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So in order, my goal is to teach you how to do that, how to work smarter, not harder, because right now for every one transaction I do, an agent who accepts a lead does twice the amount of work, because you give away 50% of your commission. So if I can show you how to make more money with that one transaction that you generated yourself, where you didn't have to pay a cut to somebody, I feel like I did my job. Number one. Number two, when you know how to fish, you're always certain, no matter what the market is going to do, you're always certain and know, yeah, I might have to go change the lake I'm fishing on. I might have to pay attention to the weather conditions. I might have to change out my bait, my fishing line and all that, but I know how to catch a fish. So if I change those little things, if I adapt to the market conditions, I'm always going to be able to catch a fish. So that's my goal, is to build a brand strong enough where you generate it yourself. And most of the time they come to me. So that's the difference. I don't have to have a listing presentation. I don't have to spend a penny on it, because this is organic lead generation.
Yeah, because they've been following your content. They see you as a trusted advisor. They see you as the knowledge source, because you are presenting that image, and that is who you are. It's your authentic self, but you're presenting that authentic self in social media. And that is a skill that people need to develop, which is why Gogo's Bootcamp is so helpful, because it's not necessarily, this is not necessarily just for people who have never done anything on social media, although there is that training, but this is for people that want to take it to that next level and really think about, how do I brand myself? What should my posting strategy be, and my scheduling be, and how do I actually incorporate this, and then how do I make this into my part of my overall business? And that's exactly what you teach. It's an excellent
we have a whole series on mindset, because I believe about 90% of your success is 6 inches between your ears. You have to believe, you have to know who you are and what you bring to the table. You have to have market knowledge and all that. So I teach a whole series. I think there's over 80 videos on mindset alone, of how did I get to have this mindset, and hopefully, and every single one of them was a life lesson, but hopefully they can learn through my life lessons so they don't have to go through that. And then one of the biggest chunks of it is finesse. Finesse is the ads, the Facebook ads generation of leads. We also teach that. Not only we teach that, but we give you our most successful ads ran ever, where they can literally, with 3 clicks of a button, stakes all of our ads and upload it into their own ad account, throw $5, $10 at it, and the ads are running in your account in your market. And these are ads like we get, if you go on gogosbootcamp.com, you can see the screenshots and the success rate of other agents where they're generated $1.2 million listing with $1.75 spent.
Right. That's a good return.
$2 for a $30-some thousand commission.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's in your control. So that is also not only how to generate those ads, but then we also teach you how to turn those cold leads into warm leads. Because now when the lead comes in, now what? What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? How do I turn them into a client that turns into a commission? So we also do all that. And I am so sorry, but my child is diabetic and he has called me 3 times. So I have to grab this very quick. Okay.
No problem.
One second.
Go ahead. And while Gogo's doing that, I'm going to mention something also that's really, really important. So a lot of times when you're thinking about how to post on social media, specifically on Instagram, you might be thinking, okay, what images am I going to show? How am I going to make it look? And how am I going to try to engage my audience? Well, here's another way that you can do that. Forget about posting for a moment. What about contributing to other people's posts, right? This is another great branding strategy. It's a great way, as my friend Ryan Diapril says, doing research and development. So you want to look at everyone else's posts on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, wherever else they might be posting. And this is a great opportunity for you, because we know that all of us know the experience of we post a picture somewhere with some, some sort of text and nobody responds. Maybe we get some likes, but we don't see any comments. The moment we get that first comment on a photo that we've posted or any sort of post, it feels good. And as realtors, you have this ability to go to your sphere of influence, go through those posts and leave some comments. Let people know that you witnessed and saw what they did. Don't just like it. Write a little 2 or 3 word, comment. This looks great. Your clients will appreciate it. They'll remember you, and you'll be one of the few people, because very few people ever leave comments. So just a little pro tip there.
Awesome. Sorry about that. I'm back.
No problem. But I was just mentioning how you can also use social media to stay in touch with people by commenting on their posts.
Absolutely. And you have to, if you're expecting that in return on yours, just assign an hour of your day when you are relaxing on the couch, maybe watching a show with one eye open, a brainless show, and then just go on your social media and just kind of return the favor, keep in touch. Because even though I credit everything to social media, because that's where it goes, but a lot of it, in a way, it's considered sphere of influence. It's my friends, it's my family, it's the people that I actually know that buy and sell with me. So, but they also are reminded of what I do because they see my post all the time. So it's kind of like it's hand in hand. But now, if you want them to see yours and comment on yours, you have to go over and give a little bit of attention to theirs as well. So then you just kind of stay on top of mind. And when you comment from your business account as well, then their friends are seeing, who is this Gogo's real estate chick? They're going to gain followers. So it's just a full circle.
Yeah, and it also demonstrates that you care. And that's ultimately what people say they want more than anything in a real estate agent, is somebody who cares. So you have to demonstrate that. And you can demonstrate that by picking up the phone or texting, but you can also demonstrate it by commenting on people's social media posts. So please use this as an opportunity. Even if you're like, well, I don't like to post that much, at the very least, you should be commenting on, a lot of posts from your sphere of influence on a daily basis, just so people know that you actually care. And by the way, that gives you something to talk about the next time you speak with them. Hey, I saw you were just on vacation. I saw you guys went here, and you can have a conversation about that. So
yes, yeah. So let's go through photos very quick, since we have to
Sure, let's do it.
So when you're posting a photo, you always want to tag a location. We talked about this last time. When you tag the location, you're generating eyeballs from that location onto your post. So they might not be following you. They might have zero interest in real estate, but they follow let's say they follow Brighton, Michigan. When I put Brighton, Michigan in my post is going to show up in the Brighton, Michigan post. So now the people that follow Brighton are going to see my post. They're like, who is this Gogo chick? Again, I gained an eyeball. So you want to do that because, again, real estate is local. Yes, you can refer business anywhere to somebody who has a real estate license, but for you personally to work on a transaction, it has to be in your neck of the woods. So you want to tag location. You also want to tag the people that you are with. So just before you're making the post, it's going to ask you, do you want to tag people? And that's where let's say we are taking a screenshot right here with DJ Paris, which I should, just a little reminder for myself. There we go. Now, when I post it, I'm going to literally just tag DJ. So now it's going to remind him that I made this post. He's going to share it. Now, all of his followers are going to check out who is this Gogo chick. All of my followers are going to check out who is this DJ Paris. And now we helped each other grow. Also, if your post, if 20% of your picture are letters, Instagram and Facebook is not even going to show your post. So don't waste it. I know it's pretty when you create a flyer, but it's not going to work for social media marketing. If you go look at my profile, you're going to see one. one quote every 6 photos is a quote, but other than that, I never have letters on my pictures, because those to me look like a flyer, and flyers are for what? I'm selling you something. And
Right.
if I'm selling you something and somebody look at it, it's like, oh, you're trying to sell me something, I'm running for the hills. So even if you're selling a property, you're better off posting 10 pictures of the property, and in the description tell them how this one just hit the market, it's 1, 2, 3 main cities, 279,000, how it's close to the whatever school district, however you want to do it. But don't post a flyer of the property. Don't put the picture of it. Don't put the address on it. Don't put any of that, because it's not going to. Then less than 2% of your existing followers are going to see it, and none of the people that don't follow you is going to see it.
Right.
There's no chance for you to grow with that. I also use professional photography in all of my listings. I use Visi Media. For that, I've been using them for 6 years. I am so sorry, they just changed their name, and I'm not sure what their new name is. But you can probably Google Visi Media. I want to say they are almost in every single state. They do a phenomenal job. They can do those nighttime images. They can put in grass. If grass is missing, they can put in blue sky. If blue sky is missing, they use the wide lenses. So when you go into a property, you can actually feel the space versus looking at an actual photo. I preach it, always, always, always use professional photography when you're doing your listing. That is your job. You're a listing agent. Otherwise, anybody can go and take a picture. Like those iPhone photos where the agent is in the mirror. I mean, come on, guys. You can't do that. You know what I mean? Put a little effort into it. Take your job seriously. You are technically marketing. You have the marketing rights to that property, and you want to market it properly. I think that's it for and staging. Now these photography companies, also some of them do a virtual staging. So that's what I actually never physically stage the property. We have an agent here locally who does amazing business, and she has like a whole staging company. She has warehouses full with actual furniture. I don't do that, but we have virtual staging, and we did it on a couple of our listings that were vacant. We didn't do the whole house, but we did the major room, the one that was kind of tied to the kitchen and all that. And so you can ask your photography company if they do virtual staging. If they do, and you have a vacant property, on an awkward property, sometimes it's just awkward, and you're like, our couch is never going to fit here. So by designing it virtually, now they're like, oh, okay. Most people are visual guys, so if they can see it in their mind, it exists, it can happen. But if you just have an empty blank canvas, they're like, my couch never gonna fit here.
And the other thing, in addition to professional photography, that I'd recommend is find something that is incredibly unique. Every property has one cool, unique feature, and have a friend come with you or turn your phone towards you, and just say, guys, I have this new listing. I just want to show you this one thing. You got to see, this is really cool. And just have them follow you into that room, zoom in on whatever it is and show them and explain it. People love to see little cool things about an individual house. You don't necessarily have to do an entire tour of the house, although you can absolutely do that as well. But I always think picking one little bite-sized thing and making it a 60, 90-second video, and just going and saying, you guys got to see this. This is so cool. And it's really going to get a lot of views.
Yeah, like I had one recently where it had I didn't even know what it was, to be honest with you. I was looking at it, I thought it was a laundry hoop, but it was like a very narrow thing with 2 metal rods in it. I'm like, what the heck is it? So I'm looking up and I'm looking down. I'm like, there's no hole. What is this? So my client is like, oh, that's a doorbell. I'm like, what? So she goes outside, hits the doorbell, and these 2 metals have like a little ball or something between them, and it hits it.
Okay.
I created a video about that. I've never seen one like that. It had the most comments, like, oh my gosh, my grandma used to have one like this. I miss it. So just stuff like that. Is like when you find a cute little thing, it's just start a conversation. That just reminded them of their grandma. It made them feel fuzzy. And then it also, even though you didn't say, hey, you want to buy or sell with me, it also shows, oh, Gogo's out there showing houses. Oh, this is a real estate. Oh, this house is for sale. Like it just kind of reminds them of what you do. As you said, you can go down probably 10 years on my social media feedback and find once when I ask for business.
Yeah. I just came back from Tampa. My sister, they gutted and renovated the home that they just bought, and they made everything really beautiful and modern and cool. One thing that they did that would be something that's really simple to feature is my sister loves, and I don't know if you remember these, and this goes back to like the early, maybe the 1930s, I think, when light switches had the push buttons. So it was a push button in and a push button off, an on and off, but they were 2 different buttons. So they protrude And they're really cool. There's a little
1,000
brass.
in.
Yeah, push in and out. Yeah, and it sounds silly, but she got every single light switch done that way in the house, and it probably cost a fortune to do that because they don't even sell these things anymore. But she got it done. And if I was trying to sell her house, which I'm not, but that's what I would say. You guys got to see this. You remember these from old hotels, and remember those push button. And whenever we go visit her, everybody comments on these little push button things. So again, that would be one feature to highlight. So if there's anything even sort of silly like that, people really get a kick out of stuff like that.
Yeah. I remember one time before marijuana was even legal and stuff, I showed a condo and my clients there, we opened the door to the closet and it's all stainless steel, the walls, and there's lights and stuff. I'm looking like, what is this? And he goes, sold. And I didn't even know what it was. And he goes, oh, that's a growing thing. I was like, oh,
yeah.
I didn't even know what it was. Thank God I didn't post it on Facebook, but I probably would have if he didn't look to me what it was. But like things like that, when you find like different things in a property that it's a conversation starter. Like one time they had this huge tank in the basement. And I'm like, I have no idea what this thing is. I'm like, hey guys, what is this? And I snapped a photo of it. I put it on Facebook. And then people start commenting. People love giving their knowledge and their opinion and stuff like that. So you keep them interactive. The more time they spend on your site, the faster your site shows up on the first page of Google. And that's what you want. And that's what video helps you with. Because videos, they're going to sit there and watch it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, which means they're spending time on your site. And that's what you want. The more time they spend, the higher you show up on Google. And you just you generate that traffic to yourself.
I'll leave you also with one last tip because you just reminded me of something. So this is a quick one, and we can go into a deeper dive in a future episode. But for everyone who doesn't have their own Google My Business page, this is the business page that shows up when people Google you, or it can if you have one. And you just Google the word Google My Business. You can sign up for an account. It's free. You can write posts on there, but also you can upload photos and videos. So if you do a cool video for the property, you can upload it there as well. Now, I'll give you an example. I asked our realtors here to, if somebody would do a testimonial. So we got like 10 testimonial videos. People just turned their camera around and said, here's why I like working at Kale Realty. Anyway, so I took all those videos and we were using them in various advertising projects, but I also uploaded them to Google My Business because prospective realtors might want to look at those who are thinking of joining our firm. In the last day alone, over 3,000 people watched those videos in 24 hours. Now, they didn't watch all of them, but 3,000 views were out of all the videos we uploaded in one day. And we don't have a lot of people looking us up on Google in that way. It's not like we have a huge Google presence in that sense. So if you are doing videos, upload them to your Google My Business page, and you will also get tons of traffic that way. And people just go, oh, that's cool. Most businesses don't.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say, most businesses never upload photos and they never upload videos. You want to do this for your business with Google My Business. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so just keep in mind, Google My Business only allows posts for 7 days, so they're going to go poof. So it's not like Instagram or Facebook where you post it up forever. It's only up there for 7 days, but just get into the habit of maybe put a note for yourself every Tuesday to remind you I need to post something on Google My Business.
Yeah. Well, and remember, the videos and the photography, they stay up forever. The posts are only there for 7 days. So just like Gogo said, we do this at our business. For example, Juneteenth was obviously several days ago. We posted something for Juneteenth. Father's Day was the day after that. So we posted something as well for Father's Day. It doesn't even have to be real estate related, but post something and upload your photos and videos, and you'll be amazed at how many people now will see it because Google prioritizes their Google My Business results in the search results. So they really are pushing that hard right now. So don't forget about Google My Business. We'll talk about that on a future episode. But I want everyone who's listening to definitely check out Gogo's boot camp. So we have a special link for you. So go to gogopodcast.com, Gogo podcast.com to learn all about Gogo and her social media boot camp. It's, like she said, 200 hours of videos and so many modules. And we just talked about some app editing. And she's like, that's like not even 1% of what is offered there. This is a full course that specifically goes from start to finish. of exactly what you need to know to actually build a social media following for your business. It's amazing. It's great. It has a million great reviews because she's got the best program out there. So please, everyone, go check it out. gogopodcast.com. Gogo, on behalf of the listeners, once again, thank you for providing this great content. We love it. We appreciate you. And then on behalf of Gogo and myself, we appreciate you, the listeners, for continuing to support our show, to watch our episodes or listen. And remember, please, two things. Please tell a friend. Think of one other agent that could benefit from hearing this great interview we just did with Gogo, and send them either a link to our podcast or send them over to gogopodcast.com to learn about the social media bootcamp. And then also follow us on Facebook. Please find us at facebook.com/Keeping It Real Pod. Every single day we post an article that we find online designed to help you grow your business. And of course, we post all of our episodes there as well. So Gogo, was a pleasure seeing you and chatting with you again. And I guess we'll see you in a month.
In a month, let's talk about videos next time.
Let's do videos. So next time, guys, videos. And we'll end with this. If you have questions that you want Gogo to answer about social media video posting, send those in. You can do that right on our Facebook page. You can do it on our website, keepingitrealpod.com. There's a million ways to find us. Send us your questions, and we will answer those next time on Keeping It Real with a social boot camp with Gogo. So thanks, Gogo. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys. See you next month.